Hello dear students, welcome you all on the platform of Shri Jayendra Rank Zone classes. I am your mentor and your friend for the subject biology, and I will be taking care of animal science, that is the zoology part. So my dear students, in the previous lecture of reproductive health, we have come across different types of problems, different types of solutions of the problems, and the most importantly, now we are going to start with the different birth control methods. Before starting, I would like to inform you that please go through the previous lectures to have a better knowledge and to have a better connect for the upcoming videos. So my dear and beloved students, this is the most important topic, whether it is of board point of view or competitive exams point of view. So we have to start with, or we should know that what are the different birth control methods. So starting with the very first point, in the birth control, what exactly birth control refers to? Birth control basically means restricting the number of children. It basically means restricting the number of children by various methods, okay, by various methods designed to control fertility, okay. So the very first point is it controls fertility, okay, and prevent conception. The second is to prevent conception. So birth control methods, they can either control the fertility, when they can either stop down or slow down the production of gametes, or they will prevent the fertilization. They will prevent the fertilization, or they will prevent the process of movement of gametes, okay, like process of movement of sperm, okay, in the female reproductive tract to mate ovum. So these are the different methods, and now we are going to actually elaborate them. The only method of preventing pregnancy which is 100 percentile reliable is complete abstinence or complete avoidance of sexual intercourse, which is exactly a ideal method but not realistic, okay. So there is only one method which can prevent the birth 100 percentile, that is not having the sexual intercourse or complete abstinence. Abstinence basically means the period in which the male and female co-partners, they are reproductively silent, they are under the phase of not having sexual intercourse, right? Now coming to next, prevent sperm transport to the ovum. It can be a method, a birth control method, that if we can prevent the transport of the sperm to the ovum. Secondly, prevention of ovulation, mean not letting enough hormones which are required at the time of ovulation. Then preventing implantation, okay. Maybe the zygote is formed and that zygote is basically going to implant, okay. So before 8 days, that zygote needs to be stopped, okay. So preventing implantation of early embryo in the uterus, okay. So these three methods, like preventing sperm transport to the ovum, second is prevention of ovulation, and the third is preventing implantation of the early embryo in the uterus. Now coming to next, various contraceptive methods are broadly classified as two main types. There are two main types of contraceptive methods. Contraception means to avoid conception, and conception means basically sexual intercourse. So contraception to avoid sexual intercourse. Now the act of sexual intercourse cannot be avoided, okay, but the products of sexual intercourse can be avoided by not letting the fertilization to happen, okay. So concept of spacing, which is commonly used in space births at longer interval times between pregnancies. The first pregnancy, if it happens in year 2020, the second pregnancy should be after minimum a gap of 3 to 4 years. So that in between this transition period, the uterus could develop best of its possible previous type. Okay. So the concept of spacing, which is commonly used to space births at longer interval times between pregnancies. Then temporary or terminal or permanent methods. Okay. So basically birth control methods, there are basically two types. First is the permanent methods. Okay. The second is the temporary methods. Okay. The temporary methods, they are for very short duration, and the second permanent methods, they are going to give the permanent relief. Okay. So the temporary methods, okay, they basically are further classified as natural methods, barrier methods and hormonal methods. Okay. So the birth control methods, there are two types, the temporary and the permanent. Temporary is further classified into natural methods or barrier methods or hormonal methods, and permanent methods, it involves surgical methods, right? Now coming to the next slide, natural methods which are psychological. Okay, natural methods are psychological, means the reproductive co-partners, they actually have to incline more towards the psychological control. Okay, they have to basically more be psychologically fit. I mean, along with physically fit, having physical fitness, they should have more psychological control. So the natural methods, so periodic abstinence or rhythm method, this is known as what? Rhythm method or periodic abstinence. Okay, rhythm method. Temporary avoidance of sex, it is what? Temporary avoidance of sex. Okay, it is a physiologically based method, most importantly physiologically based method, which was first developed in 1930s and is called the rhythm method. Okay, it involves abstaining from sexual intercourse on those days when ovulation is likely to occur. Mean from 11 to 18 days of a menstrual cycle, from 11 to 18 days. If on the 14th day ovulation happens, so it is around 3 days before and 2 days after. And 3 days before. So almost 11 to 18 of the every reproductive cycle. Okay. So it involves abstaining from sexual intercourse on those days when ovulation is likely to occur. So if the ovulation is likely to occur on 14th day and maybe before 3 days or after 2 days the sexual intercourse was there, so there could be a sign of getting, the ovum getting fertilized. The reason is the lifespan of sperm is 3 to 5 days maximally, it is 3 days. Okay, and the ovum lifespan is, ideally speaking, it is 24 days. Okay, or it can be of 48 days, right? So this is the periodic abstinence or rhythm method, or it is temporary avoidance of sex. Okay. Now symptothermal method. The word symptom means there are some symptoms which actually give a clue to a female that was or that can be a date of ovulation. Okay. So symptothermal method, it utilizes normal fluctuating physiological markers. Okay. So normal fluctuating physiological markers like increased body temperature because of increased levels of the hormones. Okay, it is basically denoted as hormonally LH surge. That LH surge comes up, it can come up with fever if it is noticed. An increased production of or abundant clear stretchy cervical mucus. Increased production of abundant clear stretchy cervical mucus. So a female could get a clue that okay, it can be a date of ovulation, release of egg. So she can prevent psychologically, she can prevent to have a sexual intercourse. Okay, that resembles uncooked egg. Okay, the mucus which is released, it resembles the uncooked egg white, which indicate ovulation, right? Okay, so this can be a method, symptomatal thermal method. Okay, coitus interruptus withdrawal method. Coitus interruptus withdrawal method, it basically mean a person, especially the male co-partner, before the ejaculation of the sperm, he should remove the external genitalia, means the penis, from the female external genitalia, that is vagina. Okay, so it basically involves lot of psychological control, and that is why this method can come up with failures many times. The male withdraws his penis from the vagina just before ejaculation to avoid insemination, so that semen is carried out outside the vagina. This method is moderately effective because controlling ejaculation outside the vagina, as I already told you, is difficult since it requires a lot of self-control. And before ejaculation, the male passes a pre-ejaculation fluid. Before ejaculation, because of the function of the glands, especially the Cowper's gland, the male possesses a pre-ejaculation fluid which may contain some sperm. Okay, and those sperms can be a part of the conceivement. Okay, the female get conceived. Okay, it can be a part of conception, right? So which may cause pregnancy. So this method is just mean it can be used, but it is not always mean that it will prevent. Now the next is lactational amenorrhea. The lactational amenorrhea method is basically absence of menstruation. Okay, so absence of menstruation is what? There is no menstrual cycle and therefore ovulation does not occur. If the menstrual cycle is stopped, so no ovulation will be there, and if there is no ovulation, there is no fertilization. It does not occur during intense lactation following parturition. Okay, just after the delivery of the baby, because of the release of prolactin hormones, because of the release of prolactin, and antagonistic to prolactin we are having relaxin hormone. Okay, so these hormones basically actually they have antagonistic effect, and that's why they basically the relaxin, it is released after during the time of delivery. Okay, and the moment the relaxin levels decreases, the prolactin levels increases. Okay, so during the heavy lactation, what will happen just after delivery? The menstrual hormones which are secreted to regain the reproductive cycle, that menstrual cycle. Okay, so that is actually stopped. Okay, for a very long time. So there is no menstruation, there is no ovulation. However, this method is effective only up to maximum period of 6 months after childbirth. Okay, so this method is effective for child for more than 6 months, or at least up to 6 months after childbirth. Okay, so periodic abstinence rhythm method, STM sympato thermal method. Okay, then coitus interruptus, that is withdrawal method, and lactational amenorrhea. Okay, and that is LAM, or absence of menstruation. Okay, now coming to next, barrier methods. Okay, the previous I explained you the natural methods. Now the barrier methods. The barrier methods, they are physical. Natural methods, they were psychological. Now according to these methods, condoms. Nirod is a Hindi name for condom, was the first popular brand of condom, especially in India, for male, promoted by government bodies. A female condom is known as vaginal pouch or femicondom, is designed to prevent the sperm from reaching the uterus. So basically condoms in case of males and femicondom or vaginal pouch in case of females. Then diaphragm. Diaphragm is a rubber dome shaped structure that fits over the cervix and is used in conjugation with a spermicide. Okay, when you can see, this is the diaphragm and this is the cervix. This is the mouth of the diaphragm, and it is having a jelly-like structure which is spermicide. Okay, this is the spermicide. This is spermicide. This spermicide is spermicidal action, when it will kill the sperm. Okay, So it can be inserted by female up to 6 hours before having intercourse. So before 6 hours, female means self insertion is there. Then cervical cap. Cervical cap is same as diaphragm. It is same as diaphragm, but is smaller in size. It is smaller in size and more rigid. So cervical cap, it is same as diaphragm, but it is smaller in size. This is the diagram of cervical cap. Okay, this one. It fits snugly, means the seal which is obtained after fitting the cervical cap is very tight, and the chances of sperm to get enter are very low. It fits snugly over the cervix. It should be fitted by healthcare professional. It is not having self insertion. It is basically inserted by healthcare professional. Understood? It is also applied with spermicidal jellies. Okay. So diaphragm and cervical cap, they are basically having spermicidal jellies. Okay. This is the diagram of male condoms, and this is the diagram of female condoms, that is femicondoms or vaginal pouch. Okay. So after barrier methods, spermicides. Now intrauterine devices or IUDs. Okay. So spermicides, different kinds of foams, jellies, creams, suppositories. Okay, they contain sperm killing agents or spermicides which make the vagina and cervix unfavorable for sperm survival, The common spermicides used in these are lactic acid, which decreases the pH, and that's why the sperm they destroy it. Citric acid, boric acid, zinc sulfate, potassium permanganate, they all can have potential to kill the sperm. Then sponge. Today is a foam suppository. Sponge is basically a foam suppository or tablet containing non-oxynol or delphin. Okay. So non-oxynol is a spermicide, okay, which is used as a sponge, as a foam suppository, okay, to prevent the sperm entry. Delphin is also available in a form of cream. Okay. So the females, they can apply these spermicides before the sexual intercourse, okay, through the root of cervix, okay, so that sperm could not enter into the vagina. Okay. So basically they are having the spermicides, they can have lactic acid, then they can have citric acid, then they can have boric acid, then zinc sulfate, potassium permanganate. Okay. Sponge means suppository, foam suppository or tablets containing non-oxynol, okay, or delphin. It can be used as a cream. Now IUD is basically the spermicides, that was the part of the first slide. IUD is basically the intrauterine devices. It includes the mechanical devices. It is the mechanical method or mechanical devices. It is also a barrier method. Intrauterine devices, as IUD is a small object made up of plastic or a copper, stainless steel, that is inserted by a healthcare professional into the cavity of the uterus. There are presently available as non-medicated IUDs such as lips loop, copper releasing IUDs known as copper T, copper 7, multi-load 375, and some of the hormone releasing IUDs as well, like progesterone. Progesterone basically increase the levels of progesterone. This progesterone further, because of inhibit or negative feedback, destimulates or inhibits pituitary to secrete LH and FSH. LH and FSH further decrease the level of progesterone. Okay. So progesterone, it can be used as a IUD. Okay. Then LNG20, okay, it is also a hormonal IUD. Then IUDs basically increases phagocytosis. They increases phagocytosis, means engulfment of sperm within the uterus. Okay, increases phagocytosis. And the copper ions which are released, they basically interfere with the mobility of sperm mobility, as well as the fertilizing capacity of sperms, and also it interferes with the fertilizing capacity of sperms. Okay. So copper ions, they basically interfere with the fertilizing capacity of sperms. They interfere with the sperm motility. The hormone releasing IODs make the uterus unsuitable for implantation, and the cervix hostile, means devoid of sperms. IODs are ideal method of men or used by females. So IODs, they are the mechanical methods. Okay, they may have, you know, hormonal discharge, and they are basically non-medicated. Okay, and they can have Lips loop, then copper releasing IODs, that is copper T, copper 7, progesterate, which is a hormonal releasing IOD. Okay, so basically IODs, they increases the phagocytosis of sperms. Okay, hormonal IODs, basically they create a unsuitable environment for the survival of sperm. Okay, so now coming to next, my dear students, drawbacks of IUCD, intrauterine contraceptive devices. Intrauterine means they are basically inserted inside the cervix. Intrauterine contraceptive devices, IUDs, their spontaneous expulsion, sometimes without the woman's knowledge. Okay, that mechanical device, it can come out without the woman's knowledge. Okay, they can cause excessive menstrual bleeding and pain. Okay, these mechanical devices, especially if they are made up of metals or stainless steel, they can insert or they can create ulcers, and they can cause bleeding and pain. Okay, they can cause uterine ulcers as well. Their presence may act as a minor irritant. They can create a sense of irritation in the internal part of the os, okay, means the cervix, and makes the egg move down the oviducts and the uterus before fertilization or implantation. So their presence may act as a minor irritant and makes the egg move down the oviducts, means the fallopian tube, and uterus before fertilization or implantation. So egg without fertilization, it comes down, and it can creates further problems leading to excessive bleeding. Risk of perforation of the uterus can also be there. Yeah, the risk of perforation of the uterus, if the sharp edges of the metallic support of copper T, okay, it can cause perforation to the uterus as well. Tubal pregnancy, implantation of embryo in the oviduct. Maybe the fallopian tube, the zygote can implant itself into the fallopian tube, leading to the tubal pregnancy, which can be a major complication, because the fallopian tube, it is not having that much amount of space, neither it can come up with the villi and all. Okay, so that part of the fallopian tube is removed, and if the fertilized egg remains viable, living, then only it can be implanted. Okay, so it is having risk of infections as well. So all these are different drawbacks of intrauterine contraceptive devices or IUDs, means bleeding, pain, tubal pregnancy, risk of perforation of the uterus, and risk of infection. Okay, now coming to next, this is the IUD's work. Okay, this is the mechanical device. Okay, this mechanical device can perforate from these sides. Okay, if it is displaced, controls the monthly growth of the lining of the uterus. Okay, it basically shadows the lining which is over or excessive. It inhibits the normal sperm functioning inside the uterus, thickens the cervical mucus. Thickening of cervical mucus will propose a resistance to the sperm which is trying to enter from this side. Now coming to next, hormonal methods. What are the different hormonal methods? Oral contraceptives in the form of pill contain the hormones designed to prevent pregnancy. So oral contraceptives in the form of pill, they basically contain hormones which are designed to prevent pregnancy. There are two types of pills: combined oral contraceptives and progestin only pill. Okay, first is combined oral contraceptive, and the second is progestin. So this is second and this is first. So basically hormonal methods include oral contraceptive methods, that are pills, okay, which are designed to prevent pregnancy. Two types of pills are there. First is combined oral contraceptives, and the second is progestin only pill. So combined only contraceptives, they are mostly or widely used oral contraceptive pills. They are most widely used contraceptive pills. They contain a dose of synthetic progesterone. Synthetic progesterone is there, estrogen is there, to check ovulation. Okay, so they just have to check the release of egg. The primary action of oral contraceptive pills is to inhibit the ovulation. This is the primary action. The primary action of oral contraceptive pills, they have to basically suppress the ovulation by suppressing gonadotropins, as I already explained you in the previous slide. Okay, suppressing the gonadotropins. Okay, follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, they are very responsible for ovulation, especially the LH. Low levels of FSH and LH prevent the development of dominant follicle, that is Graafian follicle or matured follicle in the ovary. As a result of ovulation does not occur. Okay, so basically if progesterone levels and estrogen levels, they creates a negative feedback. They tell hypothalamus that we are here in high amount, no need to secrete. So hypothalamus inhibit pituitary. Pituitary inhibits to secrete LH and FSH, not secrete FSH and LH. And LH is responsible for ovulation. Okay, FSH is also for the formation of the Graafian follicle, the mature follicle. So in this way, the low levels of LH, okay, mean there is no LH surge. Okay, there is no LH surge. Okay, and hence it prevents pregnancy. Now progesterone only pill, progestins only pill, these progestin only pill, they thicken the cervical mucus. If they thicken the cervical mucus, so what will happen? The formation of cervical plug basically prevents the entry of sperm. Basically, thickening of cervical mucus is seen after the fertilization is attained. Okay, so that no other sperm can further enter. Okay, so progestins, they thicken the cervical mucus priorly before the fertilization and makes it more difficult for the sperm to enter the uterus. Progestin pills thus thicken the cervical mucus and may block the implantation in the uterus and inhibit the transport of ova as well as sperm in the uterine tubes. Okay, when ova is also not being transferred into the fallopian tube, so in this way ovulation doesn't, that fertilization doesn't happen. So the combined oral contraceptive pills, their main mode of action is to prevent ovulation, and the progestin only pills, they actually they want to control fertilization. Okay, or insemination. Insemination means the process of entry of sperm. Understood? Okay. So combined pills, they are basically having both progestins and estrogen and is taken once a day for 3 weeks. Once a day for 3 weeks to prevent pregnancy and regulate menstrual cycle. It also helps to regulate menstrual cycle. The pills taken during the fourth week are inactive. They do not contain hormones and allow menstruation to occur. So basically, combined pills, they are actively taken for the 3 consecutive weeks, and the 4th week, if they are being taken, they will allow the menstruation to happen. Okay, they contain both progestins and estrogens, right? Now, extended cycle or birth control pill. Extended cycle or birth control pill contains both progestin and estrogens and is taken once a day in 3 months. Once a day in 3 months cycle of 12 weeks of hormone containing pills followed by 1 week of inactive pills. So this is the procedure in which extended cycle birth control pill, basically it is taken for the whole year actually. Okay, so consecutively they are taken once a day, mean every day they are taken for 3 months. Okay, and that cycle can be repeated accordingly. Okay, so once a day in 3 months mean 4 3s are, if 1 month is having 4 weeks, mean total 12 weeks we are having. So 12 weeks of hormone containing pills are given, okay, followed by 1 week of inactive pills. So the total weeks are 13, 12 plus 1, 13. 12 weeks the active period and 1 week is the inactive period. Menstruation occurs during the 13th week. Mini pill. Then comes mini pill. It contains progestins only progestins, and is taken every day of the month. Okay. So mini pill, it contains only progestins and it is taken every day of month. Okay, every day of the month, mini pill. So mini pill is taken every day of month. Extended cycle birth control pill is taken for 3 months every day, mean for 12 weeks. Okay, for 12 weeks, right? And after that 1 week is followed as inactive pills. Now emergency control pills or morning after pill. Okay, so ECP consists of estrogen and progestins, okay, or progestins alone. They may have progestins alone to prevent pregnancy followed by unprotected sexual intercourse. The high levels of progestin and estrogen in the emergency contraceptive pills provide inhibition of FSH and LH secretion. One pill is taken as soon as possible, but within 72 hours of unprotected sexual intercourse, within 72 hours, okay, because you know that the first the fertilization can happen within a day or within a day of 2, maximally the duration is of 72 hours, right? The second pill must be taken 12 hours after the first. The second pill must be taken after taking administration of the first pill, after 12 hours after of the administration. So this is the emergency contraceptive pill which is taken within 72 hours, okay, in 3 days, and the second pill should be have been taken just after 12 hours of the first pill. Now we are having contraceptive skin patches, okay, also known as ortho-evra. It consists of both progestins and estrogens delivered in a skin patch. They are delivered in a skin patch, form of skin patch, placed on the skin, upper outer arm or back or lower abdomen or buttocks, once a week for 3 weeks. For once a week means 1 day in a week for 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, the patch is removed and new one is placed elsewhere. Okay. Apart from all these positions, new one is placed elsewhere. During the 4th week, no patch is used. Okay. So for 3 weeks, for any day, patches given. Okay, that is having progestins and estrogens in it. That patch releases the hormones and it will control the blood levels of these hormones. Okay. After 3 weeks, the patch is removed and new one is placed. Okay. 4th week, no patch is used. Vaginal contraceptive ring, Nuva ring, is a flexible donut shaped ring of about 5 cm. Donut shaped ring of about 5 cm, 2 inches in diameter. It is 2 inches in diameter, that contains estrogens and progesterone, is inserted by the user into the vagina. Okay, it is to be used in self insertion. Okay, it is left into the vagina for 3 weeks, okay, to prevent conception, and then removed for 1 week to permit menstruation. Okay, so between 3 weeks consecutive cycles, they can remove for 1 week in between. So vaginal contraceptive ring, it is basically a kind of ring, okay, which is having a diameter of 5 cm, that is 2 inches, okay, that contains estrogen and progesterone, okay, releasing the estrogen and progesterone to basically cause the conception. Then subcutaneous implants, Norplant. A new method of contraception is subcutaneous under the skin implantation of synthetic progesterone. It acts similarly to oral contraceptives by blocking the ovulation and thickening of cervical mucus to prevent sperm transport. These implants are effective for up to 5 years. So it is a very good method, subcutaneous implant, neither why to go for the surgical intervention. Okay, the Norplants. Okay, so the contraceptive skin patches, ortho-evra, vaginal contraceptive ring, Nuva ring, subcutaneous implants, Norplant. In contraceptive skin patch, ortho-evra, you have to remember that 4th week no patch is used. Okay, vaginal contraceptive ring is donut shaped. Okay, 5 cm in diameter or 2 inches in diameter. Okay, then subcutaneous implant, it is just given below the skin, effective almost around 5 years. Hormone injections, Depo-Provera hormone injections. These are the progestin injections given intramuscularly. They are given intramuscularly by a healthcare practitioner every 3 months. So they are given intramuscularly for every 3 months, okay, by a practitioner, healthcare practitioner. They are convenient and highly effective with no serious effects. They are highly convenient and effective with the no serious effects or no serious side effects. Okay. Okay, so I hope all types of different pills, all types of hormonal contraceptions, which actually are very, commonly to be asked in competitive exams, are understood by you. Okay, so if anything you're having any problem, please write on the chat box. Okay, now coming to next is the permanent method, and we are going to start permanent method in the next class or the next lecture. Okay, till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye bye, take care.